Hello students, today in your curriculum, the design of automotive system, so I shall start with a new chapter, that is gear. So among several gears you have few gears that is in your syllabus. Par gear is one of them. So first of all, let us go through the very introductory part of gear. Okay. So why gear? What is the importance of gear? So slipping, there is a very common phenomena. It is probably seen in a belt or rope drive, while transmission of power or motion between the two shafts. So effect of slipping reduces the velocity ratio. Gear is used where the precision or definite velocity ratio is required. So gear drive is free from slipping, so it is called the positive drive. It is used where distance between two shafts are less. Okay, so these are the first introductory part of the gear. Okay, so no slipping action is occurred unlike your belt drive or rope drive. So that is why velocity ratio, you can maintain a fixed velocity ratio here. Okay, so what are the advantages? It transmits the exact velocity ratio, may be used to transmit larger power, may be used for small center distance of shaft, high efficiency reliable service, and it has a compact layout. Okay, just go through the points. Now disadvantages: since the manufacture of gear requires special tools and equipment, therefore it is costlier than other drives. The error in cutting teeth may cause vibration and noise during the operation. It requires suitable lubricant and reliable method to apply for the proper operation of gear drive. Now classification. So based on the position of axis of the shafts, the gears are classified as three types mainly. So parallel type, intersecting, and non-intersecting non-parallel type. So the two parallel and coplanar shaft connected by the gear is known as the spar gear. This is like this. Okay, so parallel and coplanar shafts are connected by the gear is known as the spar gear, and the arrangement is known as the spar gearing. These gears have teeth parallel to the axis of the wheel. Another name is given to the spar gearing is the helical gearing, in which the teeth are inclined to the axis. So teeth are inclined to the axis. Okay, this is a single helical gear, this is a double helical gear. In which the teeth are inclined to the axis. The objective of the double helical gear is to balance out the end thrust that are induced in a single helical gear. Okay, while transmitting the motion. The double helical gears are known as the herringbone gear. Very, very important question. What is herringbone gear? So herringbone gears are sometimes it's also called the double helical gears. Okay? The two non-parallel or intersecting. Look at this. This one is two non-parallel or intersecting but coplanar shaft connected by gears. Such gears are known as the bevel gear. This is the bevel gear. When two non-intersecting, non-parallel, that is non-coplanar shaft connected by gears, such gears are known as screw bevel gear or spiral gear. This is the spiral gear. Okay. Just remember the type of the shaft, whether it is inclined, whether it is parallel, whether it is coplanar or non-coplanar. Okay. Just remember, according to the classifications, the gears are named as, gears are termed as the particular. Okay, like your spar gear, bevel gear, or screw bevel gear, or helical gear. I mean double helical gear, herringbone gear, then spiral gear. There are several classifications there that, of course, these are all basically depending upon the inclination of the shaft. Okay, how shafts are inclined with the axis. Now, when two equal bevel gear means having equal number of teeth, connect two shafts whose axes are mutually perpendicular. The bevel gears are known as the meter gear. Like here we see is the angle. If the angle between two shafts is a 90 degree and the gears having the equal number of teeth, then this type of gear is known as the meters. Okay. The worm gearing essentially form of spiral gearing, in which the shafts are usually right angle. Here we see the shafts are particularly the angle is theta. When the theta is 90 degree, in case of spiral gear, this type of gears is known as the worm gear. Okay, so worm gear is a type of spiral gear. According to the peripheral velocity of gear, low velocity gears are having the speed, peripheral speed less than 3 meter per second. Medium velocity gears having peripheral speed 3 to 15 meters per second. High velocity gears having the peripheral velocity 15 meter per second. Okay, so less than 3 meter is a low velocity, 3 to 15 meter medium velocity, more than 15 meter is the high velocity. Okay, now according to the type of gearing, is the external gearing when the gears of two shafts mesh externally, internal gearing when gears of two shafts mesh internally, the rack and pinion. So gears of a shaft mesh with a gear in a straight line. Okay, so the arrangement is called rack and pinion. The straight line gear is known as the rack and the circular wheel is called the pinion. Okay, remember that. Now according to the position of the teeth, so straight teeth, inclined teeth, curved teeth. Okay, like spark gears having the straight teeth. Okay, similarly helical gears have the inclined teeth. Okay, in case of spiral gear we see the curved teeth. Now terminology, that is very important. Okay, just look at the gear profile. Here we see first this is the called face. Okay, this is face. Okay, so this is the face width. Now here we see this is the particular circle. Okay, here is we see another circle, there is another circle, another circle. Okay, total 4 numbers of circles based on the gear we see the gear based on the gear height. Okay, or you can see that gear depth. There are total 4 number circles. The topmost circle that is passing through the upper part or top part of the gear, that is called the addendum circle. The next circle is called the pitch circle. Okay, the third circle is we looking here is called clearance or working depth circle, and the last circle that is passing through the bottom of the gear is known as the dead end circle or root circle. Okay, they are all marked here. So we see here pitch circle. Okay, all the circles have the same or the common center. These circles are the concentric circles. So here we can see if it is the center. Okay, so pitch circle having the diameter like dp. Okay, so gears are generally designated by or specified by its pitch circle diameter. Okay, now from pitch circle to the addendum circle, the distance is called the addendum. From pitch circle to the dedendum, the length is called, the height is called the dedendum. Okay, now this is the tooth space. Here we see this is the tooth space. Tooth space means from one particular point of a gear to the corresponding point of the adjacent gear. The gap is known as the tooth space. And what is tooth thickness? So tooth thickness, we see this is the tooth thickness. So tooth thickness is the gap between 2 points, and these 2 points must lie on the pitch circle. Okay, now here we can see one by one the terminologies. Okay, the first is the pitch circle. So it is the imaginary circle which by pure rolling action would give the same motion as the actual gear. So this is the pitch circle. Okay, so pitch circle diameter, it is the diameter of the pitch circle. The size of the gear is usually specified by the pitch circle diameter. Okay, pitch point, it is a common point of contact between two pitch circles. That means when two gears mesh each other, there must be one point of contact of the two pitch circles of the two meshing gears, and that point of contact is known as the pitch point. Okay, so pitch point is the point of contact. On this point, the two pitch circles will coincide with each other. Okay, the pressure angle and angle of obliquity, it is the angle between common normal to two gear teeth at the point of contact and the common tangent at the pitch point. That means it is the angle between the common normal and common tangent of the two meshing gear. Okay, so in the next class when I will cover you the interference part, it better you will understand what is the angle of obliquity or pressure angle. So pressure angle is basically denoted by phi. the standard pressure angle value is 14.5 degree and 20 degree. Now what is addendum? So addendum, I have already told you, there is a radial distance of a tooth from the pitch circle to the top of the tooth. Okay. Here we see from the top of the circle, that means from addendum circle to the pitch circle, the gap is known as the addendum. Okay. It is a radial distance. Okay. Similarly, dedendum. What is dedendum? Here we see what is dedendum. So dedendum is the radial distance between the pitch circle and dedendum circle. Dedendum circle means that the circle that is passing through the bottom part of the gear. Addendum circle means this is a circle that is passing through the top part of the gear. Okay. Now what is circular pitch? Circular pitch is a distance measured on pitch circle circumference from a point of one tooth to the corresponding point of the next tooth. Okay. Just look at this. This is the pitch circle. Okay. Now suppose this is a point of a particular teeth, and this is the corresponding point of adjacent teeth. So the distance, the gap is known as the circular pitch. Okay. This is the gap is known as the circular pitch. And tooth space, I have already told you what is tooth space. So tooth space is the gap between two adjacent teeth. Okay. So within this particular tooth space, the meshing gear tooth will mesh. Okay. So for the correct operation of gear drive, the tooth space must be equal to the tooth thickness of the meshing gear. If there is any error, so that error is called the backlash error. Okay, I will cover the what is backlash error. But before that, you must come to know, you must remember that this is the tooth space. So tooth space is the gap between two consecutive or two successive gears. Okay, I mean gear tooth. Okay. Now within this particular tooth space, the meshing gears tooth will lie. Okay. So that means for the correct operation of the gear drive, the tooth space must be equal to the tooth thickness of the meshing gear. So circular pitch, I already told you. So circular pitch is denoted by PC equal to pi d by t. Okay. So d is the dia of the pitch circle and t is the number of teeth on the wheel. Okay. Now for the when two gears mesh each other, their PC must be equal. Okay. Circular pitch must be equal. That means that pi d1 by t1 equal to pi d2 by t2. So d1 by d2 equal to t1 by t2. This is a relation. Okay. From this relation, you can find out the number of teeth on a gear. Okay. When three other parameters are given, you can find out the another parameter. Okay. So diametral pitch is the ratio of the teeth to the pitch circle diameter in millimeter. It is denoted by PD. Okay. So PD is T by T. T by D. Okay. So we see here PC equal to pi d by t and PD equal to T by T. When we multiply these two parameters, we will get PC into PD equal to pi. Very, very important relation. Okay. Now what is module? So it is the ratio of the pitch circle diameter in millimeter to the number of teeth. So M equal to D by T. Backlash. So I have already told you what is backlash. So backlash is the difference between the tooth space and the tooth thickness. For the correct operation of the gear, the tooth space must be equal to the tooth thickness. Okay. Only then correct meshing is possible. If the gap is somehow different, then what will happen? The backlash error will occur. What is tooth depth? So it is the radial distance between the addendum and the dedendum circle of the gear. So it is the summation of addendum and dedendum. Okay. So working depth. So it is the radial distance between the addendum and clearance circle. Okay. So addendum and dedendum circle clearance distance is called the total depth, and addendum circle and clearance circle depth radial gap is called the working depth. Just remember. Okay. So tooth thickness, so it is the width of the tooth measured on the pitch circle. So this is the tooth thickness. Here we see this is the tooth thickness, and tooth thickness must be measured on the pitch circle. As I have told you, among all the circles, the pitch circle is the most important circle, and all distances must be measured with respect to the pitch circle. Okay. Just go through it.